Hello everyone. Today we are going to be looking at a scenario where Italy forms an empire. Now Italy is one of the strongest countries in the world. I'm pretty sure it's the 10th strongest country in the world in 2025. And we're going to be seeing what happens if Italy forms an empire in 2025. Now Italy has wanted to have an empire before, going along the Baltics, and that is kind of going to be the route that we're going to follow in this video. But there's also the Roman Empire, which I wouldn't say that's Italian. It's pretty much Italian, but there's also different ethnicities. Like you can also say like the Turkish are Roman, or you can say the Greeks are Roman, the Spaniards. So we're just going to be mainly focusing on the World War II side of what Italy wanted. For this video, Italy is going to be colored in red, so anything you see in red is Italian. Let's jump into this video. The first country that they're going to go after is Slovenia. Slovenia is kind of cooked because they begin to enter, and Slovenia is not a strong country. They managed to get through, cut off this little tip. The remaining Slovenian troops flee into Croatia as their whole country is taken over. Italy has expanded for the first time as it is a monarch now, and I think you can tell where they're going to go next, and that is Croatia. So Croatia is going to be a bit more of a challenge for Italy, but not as much as they take over this little part, which actually used to be a part of Italy, and they begin an offensive to try and cut Croatia in half. But with the Slovenian troops that arrived there, it was like 50,000 troops, they actually are managing to push into Slovenia. This place wasn't as assimilated as Italy wanted it to be before they started this war. So this area is going to cause a little bit of a problem for them. While this is going on, Italy also declares war on Albania. The reason they do this is so that way they can have a front line down in the southern Baltics, so that way they can hurry and just invade this land easier with a foothold already being established inside of the Baltics. But they should probably not focus on that as much, because now a big offensive just happened and they almost get fully cut off from Slovenia, but they actually managed to cut Croatia in half. And after they do that, they send some troops up here and push back against this front line. Very soon, all of Slovenia is taken back and they begin their big offensive into Croatia. They make a naval landing in southern Albania and take over the whole thing. They also make a naval landing here in southern Croatia and take out this whole little panhandle. Another naval landing is made in northern Albania, cutting through the country, and Albania has just been taken over. Croatia is holding out as long as they can, but soon enough, they get fully taken over. Here are the new borders of Italy. They take over the southern part of Croatia, they take over all of Albania, and they puppetize this half of Croatia. Italy then goes and declares war on both Bosnia and Herzegovina and Montenegro. They start pushing down through the northern part of Bosnia, and through Albania they make a push into Montenegro. But then Serbia joins the war. Serbia is going to be the toughest opponent Italy will face off against as they hurry and blitz through Bosnia. The reason Serbia joined this was to not only protect Montenegro, but to protect the Serbian population that lives inside of Bosnia. So they push back the Italians back a little bit. They actually start to liberate parts of Croatia from this new dictatorship inside of it. But that doesn't last long because it goes back to its normal dictatorship fairly soon. So after a couple weeks, this is what the front line looks like, and then Italian troops make an invasion into Serbia, cutting off the northern part of Serbia. Montenegro then soon falls over to Italian forces as they cut off Bosnia from the, the Baltic Sea and the Balkan Sea, or whatever it is, and Bosnia kind of just disappears. Serbia is then going to surrender because there's really no point. Montenegro is gone, and the Serbian population has kind of just fled over to Serbia. So they're just going to surrender and see what happens to them. And these are the new borders of Italy. This puppet has now expanded into northern Serbia and the rest of Bosnia and Herzegovina. And they now have all of the Adriatic Sea coast. And now they're starting to eye up Greece. But you know what's going to happen before they invade Greece? France is going to sell Sardinia over to Italy. Why did France do this? Well, they're in quite a bit of debt right now for unknown reasons, but they sell this island over to Italy to hopefully get some money. They got a couple billion out of it, so it was worth it for both parties. Then comes the invasion of Greece. Greek troops are actually the ones to make the first move, as the Italian troops are overwhelmed by the amount of Greek troops that are there, and they actually managed to liberate all of Albania from the Italians. So the Italians are freaking out. They did not expect them to be this strong, so they start calling their puppet to send some troops down, which that allows them to actually get quite a bit of pushback and make it back to the border of Greece, and manage to push through and start a little bit of chaos inside of Greece. But the thing is, Turkey just cannot resist not getting in on this war. They also go ahead and annex Cyprus. So Turkish troops start invading into Greece. The Greek troops pull off from their offensive, and Italian troops just cut their country in half. Turkish troops finish out this panhandle, and they work together to go down the Greek peninsula until Greece just surrenders. And this is the aftermath of the war. We have Italy taken most of Greece. We have Turkey joining in on an alliance with Italy. We have what the Italians call the Macedonian puppet. Well, I didn't show this, but Serbia annexes Kosovo. And yeah, so Italy has pretty much has their dreams. They're very happy, but they want to control most of the islands in the Mediterranean. They're not going to go after these islands because these are now owned by Turkey. I mean, it's more just like a half split, so that way it's equal. But they're going to go after a couple countries. Spain, they want their islands. Tunisia and Libya. The Italian Navy, who is ready for this, start an invasion of the islands, and they actually take over all of them. They also make a landing near Tunis and capture the city. Then they start working down the Tunisian coastline. Now, realistically, since there's no NATO, I forgot to say that at the start, but there is no NATO. China would probably be getting involved if Tunisia were to start getting invaded, but just for the sake of Italy, they're not going to get involved. Catalonia starts a rebellion against Spain. They see a good opportunity to do this at this moment. And Italy makes a landing in eastern Spain and starts going up towards Madrid. Landing made inside of Libya, and soon their capital has been captured, and rebels start popping up all over the country. Some slaves start popping up, and they want their independence from Libya. This is something I see happening in real life in the next 10 years. It's the Libyan Civil War. But Italy got there first, and now they're taking over the coastline of Libya. Spain is going to go ahead and surrender both to Catalonia and Italy. Tunisia is going to be like, can I surrender? But Italy's not going to give them that permission as they take over their whole coast, and then they allow Tunisia to surrender. There's no government inside of Libya, so it's kind of just an anarchist state. But Italy is going to actually start invading into the rebellions just to take over the coastline, because that was the main reason they went to war with Libya, was for their coastline. And soon they actually take over all of this rebellion. And they're going to go ahead and drop a peace treaty between really them and Libya. They don't really care about the separatist groups. And now here is Italy. They have parts of Africa. I don't know how other European powers are going to think of this now that colonialism is back. Took over the Spanish islands. Catalonia is independent. Don't get mad at me for this. Tunisia is kind of hurting. Libya, we're kind of just going to sink Libya into the ocean. Don't worry about them anymore. And so Italy is pretty happy, but they have 2 more people they need to invade. The first person they're going to invade is Switzerland. The reason that they're invading Switzerland is for 2 little tiny areas inside of Switzerland have primarily Italian-speaking population, and they want those people to be a part of their home country. Switzerland at this point is not even going to be able to stand up to Italy, and with this, Italy is going to demand a peace treaty, which Switzerland is going to accept. Here are the new borders of Italy. They took a little bit more than they needed to, but now they have their sights set on France. What did France do? Well, mainly Italy wants these areas of France. They want the Mediterranean areas, so that way they can establish themselves as the Mediterranean country. So France, feeling betrayed, didn't really put any military on their border with Italy because they thought they were friends, you know? That's no. Who's friends with France? Who is friends with French people? I'm joking about that. But the Italians aren't. They are doing some pretty bad things to the French. And the British is also going to get in on this and take over these lands. But I'm not going to show that because this is Italy's video. They're going to connect up with Catalonia, and Catalonia is going to start supplying the Italian troops. France then goes into its 100th civil war, and Italy is yet again going to make France surrender to them and to do a peace treaty. And this is going to be the Italian Empire. These nice, beautiful borders. France is crying. Libya is dying. And this is where I'm going to end this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Not much to say, but make sure you guys like and subscribe. I will see you again later. Goodbye.